Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 3 of the Discordancy Podcast. So now it is part 2 of the Philippine Daily Inquirer thing that I'm going to do. This will be the last part because there's only very few pages left, even though there are 3 sections to this broadsheet. I will be reading or tackling all of this in this single episode. So now, yeah, this is the business side. There's also the motoring style, the motoring side or section of the broadsheet, and finally lifestyle. Oh, there's also world here. World news. So yeah, a lot of things to tackle, but we'll be tackling them in this single episode. Alright, let us begin with the business. Business! Look at that. Sheesh. Business is all about the money, money, money. That's it. The peso dollar rate for the 22nd of April was 56 pesos 68 centavos to the dollar, which is quite high, historically at least. The stock market is now 7,590 points. I don't know what stock index this is, but I think it's just the stock market in general, which is up. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see some business. Let's look at some business. IMF cuts PH25 growth outlook to 5.5%. Oh no! That's unfortunate. Estimate downgraded from 6.1% as global trade uncertainty hits unprecedented levels. Let us just read for a bit. The International Monetary Fund significantly cut its growth outlook on the Philippines, adding a strong warning to the world that the massive fallout of the U.S. trade war would spare no one, as uncertainty already hit unprecedented levels. For this year, the IMF expects the Philippines' gross domestic product to grow by 5.5%, a big downgrade from its previous growth forecast of 6.1%, according to the latest World Economic Outlook of the Washington-based institution. Whoops! That is very unfortunate. If you do want to read the full news, pause here, look at it. Yeah. Now, let's move on to this new one, to this new news of where the Philippine Airlines gets a new president. Okay, the talk around the water cooler turned out to be true after all. Flag carrier Philippine Airlines is indeed getting a new president to replace Captain Stanley Ng. And the new man who will take over the helm is British national Richard Nuttall, a veteran in the aviation industry with over 30 years of industry expertise or experience with multiple airlines. Most recently, Nuttall was the chief executive officer of Sri Lankan Airlines, which he helped steer towards operational profitability after enduring years of financial strain. Now, what will happen to Ng, who served as president and CEO of the Lucio Tan-led airline from January 2022? Big buzz sources say that the captain will hold a new position within parent firm PAL Holdings as part of a strategic reshuffling. Now, this is the new segment, the full segment from Big Buzz, the big boy Big Buzz. Hell yeah, that's right. Hell yeah. Now, what is this? The FWD insurance. As of the what is this? Fund prices on each valuation date on record with FWD's policy services prevail over the prices published in this ad. Okay. As of the 21st of April 2025, the FWD Peso Balance Fund, Peso Equity Fund, Peso Fixed Income Fund, Peso Stable Fund, Peso Equity Index Fund, Peso Growth Fund, Peso High Dividend Equity Fund, Peso Bond Fund, Peso Pit Stop Liquidity Fund, Diversity Fund, Global Good Peso ESG Fund, Peso Nitro Global Payout Fund, Peso Velocity Global Payout Fund, and the Peso Structured Income Fund is more or less a peso. The lowest here is about 73 centavos from the Peso Growth Fund and the Peso High Dividend Equity Fund, and the highest here is 1 peso 2 centavos from the Global Good Peso ESG Fund. Now, moving on to the Global Good USD ESG Fund, Global US Dollar Equity Index Fund. They are both over $100, 118 and 160 respectively. The Global US Dollar Equity Index Fund, as a Dollar Nitro Global Payout Fund is $97, and the Dollar Velocity Global Payout Fund and Dollar Pit Stop Liquidity Fund are both over $100, 106, 109. If you want the exact details, read here. Alright. Now there's an ad here at the bottom. Payroll simplified. BPIE payroll lets you do more. Yeah, I think this is an advertorial. So you can. Yep. Alright, let's move on. There's only 4 pages of this section of the broadsheet, but there's a lot happening. Oh boy. Okay, I think I'm gonna need to take my camera. Hello. And then, oh boy. Yeah, so NFA poised to boost rice stockpile. Then San Miguel taps Korea Railroad for MRT 7. Damn. Shakey's nets 1.2 billion pesos. Then there's also this. I'm sorry if you can't see anything because, yeah, a lot's happening. Hold on, let me put this back in. This will stabilize after a bit. All right. Okay, there we go. Yeah, a lot's happening. Whoa. There's simply a lot. There's simply just so much happening here. There's also pray work believe here. Aboiti starts building 48 megawatt battery system in Agusan del Norte. Damn. Money Matters by Efren Cruz, whatever that is. Cab keeps airline fuel surcharge unchanged in May. Oh boy. U.S. Taiwanese luggage maker eyes PH comeback. BizBus Pal gets new president. IMF cuts. There's also an ad here from Macro Asia Corp. Oh no, it's just a notice of annual stockholders meeting. There's also the Maritime Industry Authority Regional Office 7. I think this is a receipt. Let me take the camera again and show you that and that. Those big boys. Cebu City, Region 7. Okay, this will stabilize. There we go. Oh boy. And this last page. This last page is incredibly long because it lists out the Philippine Stock Exchange, and it lists them by category. It begins with banks, then other financial institutions, then electricity, energy, power, and water, then food, beverage, and tobacco, construction, infrastructure, and allied services, then chemicals, then electrical components and equipment, then holding firms, then property, DAME, then media, there's only 3 of them, ABS-CBN Corporation, GMA Network Incorporated, and GMA Holdings Incorporated. Then telecommunications, there's only 2 of them, Globe Telecom Incorporated and PLDT Incorporated. DITO is not there because they're actually listed in the next category, Information Technology, alongside Apollo Global Capital Incorporated, Converge ICT Solutions Incorporated, Now Corporation, and Trans-Pacific Broadband Group International Incorporated. Their name here is DITO CME Holdings Corporation. Next is Transportation Services. Damn. And somehow LBC is here? I don't know about that. Hotel and Leisure. There's only 3 of them. Boulevard Holdings, Discovery World, and Waterfront Philippines. Then Education. I don't know why there are educational institutions listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. I don't think that should be a thing here. I think we're now getting to a point that we're so rich that people can now invest in education in the Philippine Stock Exchange. That should not be a thing in any ideal world. Let's look at these corporations. Central Escolar University, Far Eastern University, iPeople, and STI. Only one of them I have knowledge about. Next is casinos and gaming. All right. And then retail, then other services, then mining, then oil, 2 of them, the Philodrill Corporation and PXP Energy Corporation. And then the last one is other industrials, Stenio Manufacturing Corporation. Then they list out those totals here at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. It's right there. Right. They have also included grand totals compiled by Jacqueline Colbrador of Inquirer Research. Apologies, by the way, if you can't hear me much, because my phone is just set here because I'm using both of my hands for this broadsheet. Yeah, the volume of these shares is 593,050. Oh no, it's actually 593,058,871 for a grand value of 4 billion. That's right, 4,841,215,148 pesos and 5 centavos. For a stock exchange on a national level, I think that's a bit small. But we can't say that it's gonna get... I can't really say for sure that this will stay on par or on the same track for the rest of the year. I think this will get bigger. Maybe even smaller. Who knows? There's also Philippine currency exchanges here for the United States dollar, Japanese yen, Great British pound, Hong Kong dollar, Switzerland franc, Canadian dollar, Singapore dollar, Australian dollar, Bahraini dinar. Damn. Virus banks in Bahrain as quoted in Reuters screen. Alright. Bahraini dinar, Saudi Arabian rial, Brunei dollar, Indonesian rupiah. I don't know why they're here, but sure. Then there's also the Thai baht, the United Arab Emirates dirham, the EU euro. So, yeah. What's the value of Indonesian rupiah? Oh, 1 Indonesian rupiah is less than 1 Filipino centavo. 1 Philippine centavo. So, okay. Damn. 1 euro is now 65 pesos. God dang. Then there's also the Korean won, Chinese yuan, Asian time closing rate as of the 21st of April. Alright. Denmark kroner. Alright. The Indian rupee, which is 66 centavos. Alright. Very nice rate. Then the Malaysian ringgit, the New Zealand dollar, which is somehow 33 pesos. Alright. Then the Sweden kroner, and then the Taiwan dollar. Or it's listed here, the NT dollar. Alright. House Talk books 51% profit surge. Then PSEI shrugs off Trump troubles. Not a wise choice. What? The expected growth rate of the Philippine economy is now down thanks to Trump's tariffs and the unprecedented uncertainty of the whole thing. We are not immune. Nobody is. Australia, Singapore, the Heard and McDonald Islands, they have all been hit with tariffs. I think we were hit with 34% tariffs. Like the Philippines was hit with 34% tariffs because the trade deficit was about 17%. So, yeah, we are not immune at all. Vietnam had I think it was Cambodia that had a really high reciprocal tariff rate. I think it was in the high 50s, maybe even higher. I cannot recall as of now. But here is the full segment at the very bottom of the Philippine Stock Exchange listings. Right. We are now done with the business page. Right. Let's now go to the motoring page. What I think is on the less interesting side of the whole thing. Yeah. This is the first page. Okay, then at the very bottom is an ad. Which is a very big ad, by the way. Big ad. A big boy ad. Then there's also some more motoring news here. That's a very general term to use, motoring. I thought they were going to talk about motorcycles. No, they're just going to talk about vehicles here. If you do want to read them, go ahead. Right. And now we're on to the last page. The last page is the world news. Yahoo! Some more news. Wow! I thought we were done with the news. No. Alright. Okay. Oh. 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 Oh, damn. Okay. So at the very top of the world news, first, there are 3 nations mentioned here. Hold on. Let me excuse myself. Excuse me, by the way. Apologies. Apologies about that. I had a runny nose from this morning. Yeah. I'm not sick. I just have a runny nose. I don't know why. Maybe because of the cold air conditioner. Right. Let's begin with the First Nations mentioned. The United States. These are very brief, very brief news segments. There are 27 alleged Tren de Aragua members charged under the RICO Act. I have just heard about this. There's also $5.6 billion reported lost to online scams. That is unfortunate. $5.6 billion as well. Oof. Next is the United Kingdom. An influencer spends 6 hours in a morning routine to prepare for his day. Where did the Philippine Daily Inquirer get this information? I don't know. Next, there's 2 to 3 quick activities in the morning that could result in improved mood. Oh, alright. And finally, Vietnam. Ding ma song, ding bang ding 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 dong ding ding. King China, do 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 do. King China, do 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 do. King China, do 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 do. 40% of its imports come from China. All right. Now we get to the big boy segment. The $1 billion cyber scam industry spreading across globe, says UN. Expansion to South America, Africa comes after failure to contain syndicates in Southeast Asia. Uh-oh. Whoops. Asian crime syndicates behind the multi-billion-dollar cyber scam industry are expanding globally, including to South America and Africa, as raids in Southeast Asia fail to contain their activities, the United Nations said on Monday. Criminal networks that emerged in Southeast Asia in recent years, opening sprawling compounds housing tens of thousands of workers, many trafficked and forced to scam victims around the world, have evolved into a sophisticated global industry, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has said. Even as Southeast Asian governments have intensified a crackdown, syndicates have moved within and beyond the region, the agency said, adding that a potentially irreversible spillover has taken place, leaving criminal groups free to pick, choose, and move as needed. It spreads like a cancer, said Benedict Hoffman, UNODC acting regional representative for Southeast Asia and the Pacific. Authorities treat it in one area, but the roots never disappear. They simply migrate. If you want to read the whole segment, here it is. Right. Alright, alright. Then at the bottom, Vietnam cracks down on fraud on U.S. exports. U.S. invokes RICO law versus Venezuelan gang members. New Zealand party files bill to define gender as biological. Okay. And green comet likely did not survive trip around sun. I will be elaborating further on the New Zealand party bill because I think this one's quite interesting. In Wellington, did I just get... Hold on, let me try that again. In Wellington, the minority coalition partner, New Zealand First, introduced a bill to Parliament on Tuesday that, if enacted, would define women and men by their biology, preventing trans women and men being recognized by law. New Zealand First leader Winston Peters said that laws should reflect biological reality and provide legal certainty. The proposed law follows a ruling by Britain's highest court last Wednesday that only biological and not trans women meet the definition of a woman under equality laws. Which is unfortunate. It really is. There's also starting the day right can determine how it goes. You can read the rest right here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. That is it. That's all for the motoring and world segments. Now to the lifestyle. Yeah. Phone calls from Ate Guy. Mom and Ate Guy shared a friendship as fierce as it was quiet, something forged in long conversations and unspoken understanding. I don't have some interest here. Yeah, can read that. But at the bottom, it does say TCL, 25 years of innovative excellence in PH. Still not reading this. No. TCL, do your thing, but I could not care less. We have a TCL TV here. It's tiny. We bought it about 8 years ago, and it's still functional, but we do not use it frequently, Oh, what is this at the back? Hold on. Oh. Okay. Lithuania marks milestones at special event. The Lithuanian embassy marks the 35th anniversary of Lithuania's restored independence and 150th birth anniversary of artist and composer Mikalojus Konstantinas Sirlionis. I think I butchered that so much, and I am sorry. Yeah. They celebrated someone's birth. It's someone who is apparently an artist and composer. I don't know who that is. There it is. Yep. There's some comics at the bottom. I will be reading them. Okay. So this first comic, we have 4 comics. First is this is the comic relief section of the broadsheet. This first one is Crazy Jenny by Albert Chiri Rodriguez. Pupunta kami sa beach. Gusto mo sumama? It means we're going to the beach. Do you want to go? Sorry, dami kong deadline eh. Sorry, she has a lot to catch up. There is a deadline on a lot of things. This is basically slang or a shortening of, like, it's just basically short for I have a lot of things to catch up with. These are things that have very narrow deadlines. I have to do these things by tomorrow, or else I'm gonna get fired or expelled or reprimanded, things like that. Sayang, sasama pa naman si Brian. What a shame. Brian's going as well. The woman has said, kung sa bagay mas magaling ako pag nakakraming. Oh, well, okay. The translation for this one, kung sa bagay mas magaling ako pag nagkakraming, is, in fairness, I am better at doing things when I cram. Cramming culture is very prominent here in the Philippines. Even I cram things. Like, I don't cram much. There are a lot of things that I do so ahead of time, like 2 to 5 days before the deadline. But there are some things that I'm like, I'm gonna have to do this just a few hours before the deadline. Yeah. So that is basically what this first comic is about. Jenny wasn't planning to go to the beach, but since Brian was also going to the beach, she was like, let's put those work things aside. I don't care if I get fired. Brian's at the beach. I will be going. That's basically what Jenny's saying. Next is Kiko Machine. First says, Ito, the dark angel ng fake news. Hihi. Gosh, ang dami niyang naso na discord sa world. Nakakaihi sa kilig. Intense. Oh my god. Okay, so this just basically means, let's translate this. The dark angel of fake news. Hee. Gosh, he has sown so much discord into the world. The monster is apparently peeing for his the monster illustrated here is apparently so admired, so flustered with the discord or the work done by the monster that the monster could pee. Bear with me. Someone has also said intense, and another has shouted, "Oh my god!" Next is, ooh, the dark angel of misleading headlines. Tas jowa niyang dark angel of merciless pop-up ads. Hee. Fiendish. It basically says, it just basically says, they're basically just introducing dark angels of the modern world. This one, it introduces the dark angel of misleading headlines with its partner, like romantic partner, the dark angel of merciless pop-up ads. Damn. And then this last one is, that's the dark angel of protection, tagabantay ng mga never mo pweds banatan kasi, politics and business chains. Protect us. Rock and roll. Damn. This one is introducing the dark angel of protection. He's the guard or the protector of the things that you are not allowed, of the things or people you are not allowed to criticize because of politics and business. Yeah. If you do want to read the full, which I've already did, this is the illustration. Right, let's move on to the third comic. Love Knots. Ooh, right, this should be interesting. Are there previous puzzles here? I don't know. Next, the third comic is Love Knots. Hold on, let me just take care of some things. All right. This next one is Love Knots. There are 3 parts. The first one says, "How's your Holy Week, Pop?" It's quite nice, son. Next is, I sacrificed myself to not be in a fight with you. Oh, the father basically said, I sacrifice that I'm not going to talk trash about you, about politics. Then something came into my mind, and then the son asked, "What is it, Pop?" Then the father said, Sino ba ang dapat ko who should I prioritize? Mahon? Sino ba ang dapat kong What the hell is mahon? Is that a real word? Let me check. Apologies about my runny nose. I think Mahon is just a surname or someone's username. It's from India, I think. What on earth is Mahaon? I think they mean, who should I serve? I think that's what they mean. Who should I serve? The nation, the president, or myself? Yeah, I don't understand the last one. There we go. Yep. This is the third comic. Now the last one. Tuldok by Pia Maria Call, which is more tolerable. Okay, so this is basically just some corn and then a vase of some sorts. The corn asks, which is more tolerable? The videoke of your neighbor or the jingle of your candidate? The vase says none. Okay. Right. Okay. Now there's a horoscope here, which is quite interesting. Okay. For tomorrow's birthday, for when they mean by tomorrow, for the 24th of April, you're affectionate, easy to get along with, and generous. You cherish strong, long-lasting bonds with others, and you take your time in building relationships. While you may pride yourself on your self-determination, you're learning that you flourish the most when you have a solid support system that you can call on when needed. You work hard so that you can get the chance to play hard. Being surrounded by beauty, nature, or anything else that pleases your senses is a must. This year, being surrounded by the love and support of your friends and community will also be a requisite. The 24th of April was the birth date of Kelly Clarkson, who is a singer and talk show host, Barbara Streisand, a singer and actress, and Jack Quaid, an actor. Okay. Now, there's also some horoscopes here for the 12... What do you call this? 12 zodiac signs. Let's begin with Aries from the 21st of March to the 19th of April. Create space in your schedule to enjoy some peaceful solitude. Use it to reignite your creativity. Next is Taurus, from the 20th of April to the 20th of May. Doing something kind on behalf of others is good for you too. For Gemini, the 21st of May to the 20th of June. That is my zodiac sign. You can lead by example by staying true to your ethics or core values. I do think that zodiac signs are nothing, meaningless, full of trash, full of nothingness. Okay? I don't think this means anything. Sure, I do stay true to my ethics or core values, but that could apply to anyone. Okay? That could simply just apply to anyone and everyone. If people have a moral compass, that is staying true to their ethics or core values. So, yeah. I do think you should take this with a grain of salt, because this can apply to anyone and everyone. Next is Cancer, the 21st of June to the 22nd of July. You can be realistic while also holding space for the most positive outcome you desire. Next is Leo, from the 23rd of July to the 22nd of August. A joint venture or financial partnership could be successful in business or in love. Next is Virgo, from the 23rd of August to the 22nd of September. If you don't have a support system for yourself, it's time to start building one. Next is Libra, the 23rd of September to the 22nd of October. You may need to scale back on how much you're doing to create more balance in your life. Next is Scorpio, from the 23rd of October to the 21st of November. Teaming up with others for creative purposes can lead to success. Romance looks promising too. Next is Sagittarius, the 22nd of November to the 21st of December. It's a good day for handling concerns related to your home or family life. A resolution is possible. Next is Capricorn, the 22nd of December to the 19th of January. If you need to have a serious conversation with someone, now's a good time. The day is also advantageous for business meetings and networking. Next is Aquarius, the 20th of January to the 18th of February. Be choosy about where you decide to spend your dollars. And finally, Pisces, from the 19th of February to the 20th of March. Self-approval is all the approval that you need right now. Give yourself the validation that you're seeking elsewhere. Then at the bottom, there is King Classic Sudoku and a crossword puzzle. The crossword puzzle has very odd references. Like, for example, 46 across, NPR White House correspondent blank. All right. I don't think Filipinos know what NPR is. Most especially Filipinos who purchase newspapers or English language broadsheets know what NPR is. By the way, NPR stands for National Public Radio. It's a public radio broadcaster in the United States. Something that does not exist here, which it should. Even though radio listenership is declining, there still should be public radio. Because if radio disappears entirely for economic reasons, there will be a substantially large audience just underserved or unserved entirely. So there should be a single public radio station that will be supported by government no matter what, which means it will be operational 24 hours a day without any interruptions, without any threats to closures due to unprecedented economic circumstances. So I do think public broadcasting, public newspapers, public radio, public internet, TV station, public television, those things should exist in this nation with strong government support. especially public news, because oh no, I'm going off on a tangent now. Public news, when done well, can do great things for society. But the thing is, we don't have that here. And that's exactly why misinformation is spreading rapidly. Even ABS, CBN, and GMA are such great networks, but they are free to air for profit networks. So they are subject to economic activities. If if viewership is down, then the quality will also be down. So, yeah, I've already talked about public broadcasting that should exist in the Philippines, but I should talk about it again. Because, yeah, right. 36 down. President of France, Macron. Okay, how many letters is this? 36. 36 down. Okay. If you do want to solve these puzzles, feel free. I don't mind this answer because it is not the answer to either of these. Yep. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next page. A closet Noranian or Noranian. The generosity of Nora. Actress, writer, director Bibeth Orteza shares an unforgettable act of kindness by superstar Nora Honor. Then there's also a closet Noranian. I make a playlist of her most popular songs, quietly singing along in a private tribute to the woman who had shaped Philippine cinema history and figured so prominently in my awkward adolescent years. Okay. Who the hell could this person be? When I skimmed the story, and she is, or this person is not mentioned in the segment. So I think this person wants to remain anonymous, but why you should be. Nora Honor's dead, and she should be honored in the most, without any sort of threats of retribution or something. There's also, Bongabon opens museum in restored town hall. Oh, all right. Museo de Bongabon. Is this in Zamboanga? Is there any? Oh no, it's in Nueva Ecija. Okay, all right. I thought it was in Zamboanga del Norte or del Sur because of the word de, and because of the fact that Zamboanga is the only region or province in this nation that speaks Chabacano, a Spanish Creole. So, oh no, there's actually two kinds of Chabacano. There is Chabacano de Zamboanga and Chabacano de Cavite. So, yeah, those are two kinds of Chabacano here in the Philippines. Chabacano de Cavite and Chabacano de Zamboanga. I sound like I speak Chabacano, but I don't. So I do kind of want to learn Chabacano, or even Spanish, just so I could speak to the people of Zamboanga. Well, not all of them speak Chabacano, but I do think a lot of people can understand and speak it. So, there's no harm in trying. Alright, the final part. Here it is. From varsity player model to runway coach. Alright. Joshua De Sequeira, who trained SB19 to walk at the bench, body of work, is making the most of all opportunities coming his way. Damn. Alright. Here it is. And then at the bottom, what it says here, the family that grapples together wins together. Training for performance, not medals. Didn't know they had a sports section here. I think they should, because, you know, sports is still a significant thing, and it should be reported on. Yes, who else will? All right, we have now skimmed through the entire newspaper. Thank you for watching this second part of this short series. This lifestyle, then motoring, and then business, and then this. So I have now read this entire, or looked at this entire copy of the broadsheet. I am uploading this in early May, and this was published in late April. So, yeah. I don't know what this says about me. Lazy, mostly. Yeah. I think that is it for now. Also, be sure to go buy your own copy of the of this, because of the Philippine Daily Inquirer, because they do some incredibly amazing work. This is just one of many publications that they have done over the years. I am quite surprised that they still publish newspapers and that they are available at 7-Elevens all across the nation and in this city. So wherever you are, if there's a 7-Eleven or a place where you can buy newspapers, go buy one, whether it be English or Filipino, because that helps massively to the journalists that comprise or that make the stories here. So do buy newspapers. Alright, that is it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.